Alright, here's the plan for today. There's an old tractor down off this hillside. It's been setting for like 20 years. Managed to get it running. We're going to see if we can put that thing to work today. Alright, so here's where we're at with this whole thing. This thing's been setting, my guess is around 20 years. I moved into my place by 10 years ago and this thing's been setting. And ever since then, and by the shape of the wheel, which I'll show you here in a minute, I'd say it's been probably setting for another 10 at least. And I probably should have did a video of getting this thing up and going, but I just came down here to tinker with it just to see what was going on with it, and really there wasn't much to it. It started on the old diesel fuel. All I did was put a battery in and it fired up. So, but what we got to fix on it today is I already changed the oil and everything on it, replaced some fuel lines, fuel filters and all that. The hydraulic cylinder here on the front, the seal was blowing out and leaking. I pulled that apart and put a new seal in there. But I'll have to show you what I got going on here, trying to get this thing back together. Alright, so here's the hydraulic cylinder that I took off, put a new seal in the end. I had a really hard time finding seals for this thing. McMaster card and all that, I really couldn't find the absolute right ones, but I got one in there that I'm hoping if it leaks, it won't leak enough to, you know, cause problems like it was before, because it was spraying out because the seal was split. But that nut right there, somebody was beating on it with a hammer. Not sure who that would have been, but they whopped the threads pretty good, and that's not really wanting to go on there. Now the shaft's just spinning, so I'm gonna see if I can work that thing on there today. Pretty much just need to button that end up, button this end up, and then we can see if the PTO and everything works on this tractor. But like I said, this thing's been setting for a lot of years. It's an old Deutz D3607. I mean, you can tell from the mold growth on this thing that it's been setting a long time. Here's a new wheel I put on, new tube. That other wheel, like I said, was pretty much shot. I mean, the tires are awfully dry rotted and stuff too, but we're just wanting to try to get this thing going to help brush hog around here. You can even see how long this thing's been setting. These things are almost completely seized up. I managed to get them moving a little bit. But that old brush hog we got's a pull behind. It's not a 3.1, so here's that wheel. You can see she's pretty well shot. She's been setting at that same spot for a long time. So Alright, well bear with me here. I'm going to see if I can get this thing put back together, maybe fire this thing up and see if we can put this thing back to work after setting for that long. I said that wasn't a complete nightmare trying to tighten that nut and shit up, but we got it. Let's see what this thing's going to do here. And yeah, somebody's got the old positive coating on that one. Just to throw you off, you know, keep you on your toes and stuff. Fun part shutting this hood. There's still something goofy going on with the starter on this thing. I had a, or not the starter, but the pull type ignition here. Supposed to flip it over on one and then pull out on this. Definitely want to make sure it's not in gear, and we got nothing. So the fix for that is this. Double check. Nobody wants to get ran over, that's for sure. And see what she does. Very, very hard to start. Got a little smoke. Don't know if it's an injector or some of that old fuel in there. I did change the fuel out. So let's see if we can find a brush hog. Take the brake off. what happens with this thing. There is another one out here. It's up closer to where the tractor was, but it I don't know, it doesn't look like it's in as good a shape as this one. So see how strong my back is today. Got her pretty close here. I guess I should find a bolt or something first. And if you ain't noticed, it's been raining. And it's been raining. So, pretty muddy. We'll give to her. Oh, she's stout. Oh, she's good. Might be able to get her. Might be able to get her. I hope this thing's tweaked. Oh boy, I got her. She wasn't easy. That's a good angle there. Fun part's got to be trying to drag this back out through them ditches and stuff. Might be fairly interesting. So I guess we'll see how it goes. This thing's old PTO shaft seen the better days, that's for sure. Might be able to get it working. You check the oil on that too, and I don't know. We'll see. Gotta get her back out of here first. So let's see what we can do. Got an extra glove. I was wondering where them gloves went. Apparently they were left on the tractor. Okay, got her in neutral. Don't get ran over here. Next on the list is the starter. If everything seems to work for the ignition switch, I'd rather not get ran over. Probably hurt a little bit. Cylinder don't look like it's leaking really compared to what it was. There was some dripping action, but I don't know if that could have been the line or something too. Just take her nice and easy out of here. Make a good blade too. Alright, here's test number 1. And it's your drug. Nice. almost barely kill this thing out. Oh, shit. Alright, well, got her out. I'm going to drive it all the way down there since, I don't know, she's pretty soft. Wheels cutting in and stuff, so I'm going to just grab my old four-wheeler and come down here and see if I can free up some of this stuff. And I don't know if that PTO shaft's gonna work or not. She's pretty crusty, so let me walk about a mile and then I'll be back.